Siri?
I'll make sure to find every last blade for you.
Hello gamers, welcome to another First Contact analysis with The Witcher 3. Yes, one of the biggest games of the year has finally hit the consoles on the PC this week, or at least next week, and I've had a chance to have a play with the Xbox One version. I haven't had the PC or PS4 versions just yet, but hopefully I'll pick those up on Monday, and then you'll be able to catch up with my detailed head-to-head across all three versions and multiple PC versions to see how they fare. As it stands at the moment, I've had about 2 hours on the Xbox One version, and I've done a pre-patch and a post-patch video to give you an idea of what the difference is between them. Now, to start off with, visually, I haven't had much time to go through this game, but it's allegedly running a dynamic resolution. It all looks to be running at 1600 by 900 pretty much all of the time, but as I say, I haven't done any detailed analysis yet of that, or at least even pixel counting, but you can clearly tell in certain points that it is a sub-native display. That said, it is a very clear and very vivid display for something that is sub-native. CD Projekt Red have done a very good job in hiding that. Now, some of that is done by using a DOF effect, and also chromatic aberration is in there as well, but it's very subtle, and you're not really going to notice it very heavily in this game. It's not overdone. It works really well. The image quality is actually very good, but the texture quality is superb throughout, specifically on faces, hair, leather, cloth. Obviously the PBR render work in this game is evident, and the lighting system is superb. Having a fully dynamic day and night cycle running through, it doesn't use global illumination, but it does use probes to emulate, and then they are then blended through the day to give you the light source. As it stands, the game looks absolutely superb on the Xbox One. Again, I must stress, for a sub-native display, it would fool many people that it is actually a sub-native display. It is very good indeed, but I will go through a lot of the actual process of the game in detail when I do my detailed head-to-head. This is pretty much First Contact and performance analysis. Now, both versions, be pre or post patch, don't really seem to have a huge amount of difference between performance. They pretty much run identically, aside the obvious difference you get from running the same standard benchmark variation. Aside some cutscenes which seem to have improved their performance by a few frames per second, certainly noticeable when you're playing, and obviously as you can see on my frame rate counter. But the simple reason for this looks to be that the anisotropic filtering has been pared back from what looks to be 16 times back to 8. Or maybe even 4 for the cutscenes, but the ambient occlusion is also pared back. You can see on the top left as I circled the lack of contact shadows from the pillar on the wall behind, and also you can see clearly on the carpet here where the quality of the texture filtering tails off the further it goes into the distance, and obviously away on the AF angle. Again, this is not a huge deal, but this looks like a quick, simple win to fix some of the frame rate issues in some of the cutscenes. In general play there is no difference, but some of the cutscenes, certainly internal ones like this, seem to have improved by a few frames per second noticeably. But there are the patch, which is about 500 meg, which brings it up to version 1.01, looks like it fixes just some glitches and bugs. You can see in the background here with the flickering shadows, it's fixed in the patched version. That's now sorted, so there's probably a few little glitches and bugs like that. Also, the trees at the first balcony part look to be improved, the draw distance looks to be improved, and the detail looks to be improved, but that could also be the time of day and weather. And in terms of performance though, the game isn't consistent. There's obviously been some rumours going around the internet about the frame rate being poor on the PS4 version and the Xbox One version. The reason that people are saying that is not because it's sub 30 frames, but yet again we have another frame pacing issue game. You can see here the difference between the intro sequence between the pre and the post. There's not much difference at all, pretty much average out around the same rate, but you can see the frame rate is actually running higher than 30. Now effectively the game is running an unlocked frame rate, bar obviously the V-Sync. The game does not tear, so you've got a nice solid clean display, unlike Project Cars, which the video will be up later tomorrow. You'll hopefully get an idea to see how bad tearing can be in that game, but in this game we get a solid display, but what we do get is a varying frame rate. With that said, it's obviously getting very keen now, so what I've done is I've updated my analysis. You can now see the actual frame time running on the graph between the frame rate and actually the average frame rate running through. So on the left you can see the pre-patched version of the game, and on the right you can see the post-patched version of the game, and pretty much they're running about the same. The consistency is there. Pretty much there's no difference in the performance, but what you are seeing is that frame rate variation, and that is a problem. It does fluctuate quite heavily. The worst point you notice it is when you're panning the camera. It feels really juddery. Now this is the problem that most people have when they run PC games and unlock it. They think 30 FPS is worse than it is. A locked, consistent 33 milliseconds smooth is much smoother than what we've got now. The reason for that is because if you're averaging around 40 to 45 frames, then it feels smoother. But what we've got on the Xbox One at least, and most likely on the PS4, is it's running around the mid-30s, maybe topping out at the top end of low 40s, but predominantly it's running around the 32-33, but fluctuating back and forth, and it does occasionally dip below the 30s, but most of that is down to loading and in and out of sequences again from cutscenes, as you would normally see. You can see this running through here. I'm not going to talk over this too much. I'll let you watch a little bit of this analysis running through for my frame rate. There is quite a lot of detail in the game, like I say. There's some great use of DOF. As I say, chromatic aberration. The game looks to be using around 8 times anisotropic filtering in the game. The texture quality, as I say, is very good. The animation is very good, and the lighting system is superb. It is probably one of the most dense open world games I've ever seen. In terms of foliage, it is absolutely brilliant. The draw distance again is very good indeed as well. It actually hides itself very well. There's lots of ambient occlusion, that does draw in pretty close to you, and overall the spells, the magic, the particle effects, all looks superb. I'm looking forward to going through this in vivid detail and seeing what the PC version actually has over and above this already sumptuous looking Xbox One version. Anyway, I apologise for the lack of video again last week. Hopefully the 2 this week and what I've got coming up very soon will make up for that. I apologise. Hopefully you guys and girls enjoy this. If you do, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate each and every one of you that does. Again, thanks to every one of you that's now pushed me over 5,000 subscribers. I really am overawed with all your support. I really appreciate you. You guys and girls take care. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you very soon on the next one.
Barbarians. The plague!
It's close. Let's go give it a warm welcome.
Wait. Take this.
A crossbow.
Want it in a card game while you run around. Might come in handy.
How about that? Always lectured us on the evils, but you're a gambler yourself.
Stop talking. Watch out! It's about to dive! Not bad. It's fast!